Ayan moved into a cheap rental last night. It was small, old, and something just felt wrong. At 3:13 a.m., he was jolted awake by a soft knock on his door. Knock, knock. He crept over and peered through the peephole. Nothing, just an empty, dark hallway. As he turned away, the knock came again, but this time was from inside the wall right next to him. He hesitantly reached out and touched the wallpaper. It was ice cold. Then, a faint, raspy whisper echoed from within the plaster. "Don't open the door." Just then, his phone screen lit up, buzzing on the nightstand. A text from an unknown number. His blood ran cold as he read the words, "I'm inside your room." He froze, not daring to breathe. He could feel it. Something was standing right behind him. You know that feeling when you're alone in a new place, and every little sound makes you jump? Well, for Ayan, it was more than just settling in noises. The second night in his new apartment, he heard it. Footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. His heart hammered against his ribs. Then, with a slow, deliberate creak, his cupboard door swung open on its own. He tried to tell himself it was just the wind, an old building settling, but curiosity, or maybe something colder, pulled him toward it. Inside, tucked away behind some old linens, was a stack of photographs. They were of previous tenants, smiling, happy families. But every single face had been violently scratched out. A shiver traced its way down Ayan's spine. He flipped to the last photo, and his blood ran cold. Scrawled on the back were the words, "He takes everyone who lives here." Just then, a heavy thump shook the wall beside him. It was so close, so forceful. And then, a whisper, like dry leaves skittering across pavement, slithered into his ear. It said, "Not who." Ayan had just moved in, and the landlord's only rule was, strange. He said, "Just don't break the walls." Ayan didn't think much of it until that night. He was brushing his teeth when he heard a faint, desperate crying sound. His eyes snapped back to the bathroom mirror. In the steam, 2 words slowly appeared, "Help me." His heart hammered against his ribs. He felt a sudden chill, a presence right behind him. A tall, dark shadow loomed over his shoulder in the reflection. He spun around, but there was nothing there. The air was still, the crying had stopped, and the words on the mirror were gone. But Ayan knew he wasn't alone. What was hidden inside these walls? He had to find out. Ayan frantically twisted the doorknob, his heart hammering against his ribs. It wouldn't budge. He threw his shoulder against the solid wood again and again, but it was no use. He was trapped. A low, grinding sound echoed through the small space, and he spun around. The walls, ... they were moving, closing in on him. Panic seized him as a thin, dark crack appeared in the plaster right before his eyes. It widened, and from the darkness within, a pale, long-fingered hand emerged. It was unnaturally slender, like a spider's leg unfurling. A chilling whisper slithered into his mind, seeming to come from everywhere at once. "Stay. You replaced the last one." Before he could even process the words, the hand shot out, its cold fingers wrapping around his ankle like a shackle of ice. Ayan opened his mouth and screamed. This is the story of Ayan, and it's a chilling warning to anyone looking for a place to rent. It all started when Ayan heard a strange scratching sound from behind the living room wall. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to smash it open. Inside, his blood ran cold. A tall, faceless creature stood there, its skin stretched tight over its frame, its body shaking unnaturally. Ayan screamed and bolted upstairs, heart pounding in his chest. Just as he reached the top, his phone buzzed with a text message. It read, "You can't run inside my house." Terror seized him as he heard the creature slowly, deliberately, climbing the stairs. Knowing his time was short, Ayan started recording a video message, his voice trembling. "If you see this, don't rent this house, ... Before he could finish, the wall behind him exploded inwards. The screen went black.